Today our lesson is simple past tense. I repeat, simple past tense. Now, what are simple past tenses? Simple past tense is the verb form that we use to indicate the ideas, incidents, or the happenings or the events that happened earlier. When people write or speak something using past tense, then we need to understand that they are speaking something, they are describing something that happened earlier. For example, 2 years ago, 1 day ago, or 10 or 15 years ago. The first thing to frame simple past tense is the thing that we need to know the past form of the verbs. Yes, for example, the present form of the verb cook is cook, and the past form of the verb cook is cooked. The past form of the verb eat is ate. The past form of the verb perform is performed. The past form of the verb take is took. So these are the lists of certain verbs that we need to know. So first of all, to make any kind of past tenses, we have to know, we should have the knowledge of the past form of verbs. For example, somebody wrote a letter few days ago, maybe 10 years ago, 1 day ago, 15 years ago, 2 weeks ago. So take for instance, go. Yes, the word go is a verb and it is very commonly used by all of us. Okay, so go is a verb and the past form of which is went. For example, मैं काल बाजार गया था. I went to market yesterday. So go means to move somewhere and the past form of go is went. So whenever we want to indicate something like we went somewhere, हम और मैं और आप कहीं गए थे. So we have to use the past form of the verb go, which is went. For example, मैं कल मंदिर गया था. I went to temple yesterday. मैं कल मैच देखने गया था. I went to watch match yesterday. So this is how the verb go is used in past tenses. The verb go, the past form of which is went, has been used in several sentences. So if you think that you cooked something delicious yesterday, then you can use past form of verb. मैंने कल मज़ेदार खाना बनाया था. I cooked delicious food yesterday. So whenever we talk about anything, any event, any incident that happened earlier, then we need to know how to frame past tenses. When we talk about anything that happened earlier, we use past tenses. Now, another common verb is take. The present form of the verb is take. Now, what is the past form of the verb take? Yes, it is took. Now, how to use this verb took, which is a past form of the verb take? How to use this verb took in sentences? How would you convey the idea? Very not. For example, some event went there and you participated in that event. You participated in some event that happened 2 or 3 days ago. How will you use the verb take? Now, how will you arrange sentence? How will you make sentences using the verb took and you participated in a certain competition? Yes, this is how you can make I took part in yesterday's competition. So simple it is. Another common verb is cook. So how will you make sentences? How will you use this verb cook in some simple past tenses? Very not. So, for example, आपके मम्मी ने कल बहुत अच्छा खाना बनाया था. So how will you frame it? कल बनाया था. She made it yesterday. So how will you frame it? Yes, my mother cooked. I repeat, my mother cooked delicious food yesterday. Now, if you think that you also made delicious food yesterday, now how will you use this sentence? How will you use this verb cook? Yes, I cooked delicious food yesterday. Now, when I'm repeatedly talking about cook and food and delicious one, I mean, it elevates my hunger. So, to frame simple past tense, you need one subject first, and then the past form of the verb, and then the incident. For example, Juhi is a girl and is the subject of our sentence, and she really performed well yesterday. So Julie performed well yesterday. So Julie is the subject and performed is the past form of the verb perform. And yesterday, indicating that the thing has happened earlier. Indicating the thing happened earlier. If you want to frame sentences, for example, उसने कल मेरे से books लिया था. लिया था. What is लिया था in English? Take, right? And what is the past form of the verb take? Yes, it is took. So, उसने, he or she, is the subject of our sentence. So, as I told you earlier, he or she, we need as our subject. So, he or she took the book from me yesterday. So, whenever we want to indicate something that happened earlier, not necessarily 10 or 12 years ago, it may be the case of yesterday or one day before. So, whenever we talk about any incident or event that happened earlier, we use simple past tense or other forms of past tenses. उसने मुझे कल 20 रुपए दिए थे. So, what is the meaning of dena in English? Yes, give. What is the past form of give? The past form of give is gave. So, उसने मुझे कल 20 रुपए दिया था. So, we have to use the verb give, the past form of the verb give, which is gave. And उसने means he. He gave me 20 rupees yesterday. उसने मुझे कल 2 apples दिए थे. Again, दिए थे, as I told you earlier, is give, and the past form of give is gave. So, he gave me 2 apples yesterday. मुझे कल 3 खिलौने दिए थे. He gave me 3 toys yesterday. मैंने कल उसे बस स्टॉप पर देखा था. So what is the meaning? What is the English of देखा? Yes, see. See, and the past form of see is saw. मैंने कल उसे बस स्टॉप पर देखा था. I saw her at bus stop yesterday. मैं उसके घर पर 2 साल पहले गई थी. I went to or I visited her house 2 years ago. This is how we have used the past forms of certain verbs in terms of making our sentences. मैंने कल उसे स्कूल के सामने देखा था. Again, we are talking about any incident and we are talking about the incident that happened earlier. I saw her in front of school yesterday. मैंने कल उससे बात किया. I talked to her yesterday. About the incidents that happened earlier, next example is उसने मुझे 2 साल पहले एक खत लिखा था. So here you can simply understand that I'm talking about an incident that happened 2 years ago. उसने मुझे 2 साल पहले एक खत लिखा था. He or she, you can choose as your subject. So he or she wrote me a letter when 2 years ago. She wrote me a letter 2 years ago. Now, another commonly used verb is come. Now, what is the past form of the verb come? Yes, it is came. Now, how to frame sentences using this past form of the verb come, which is came? Worry not. Here are the instances. For example, वो कल मेरे घर आया था. He came to my house. He came. वो आया था. The incident. It is an incident that happened earlier. He came to my house yesterday. मेरी नानी जी कल मेरे घर आई थी. My grandmother came to my house yesterday. रोहन कल मुझे मिलने आया था. Rohan came to visit me yesterday. Another commonly used verb is bring. We used to use this verb every now and then in our everyday life, isn't it? So bring. The past form of bring is brought. Some sentences using the past form of the verb bring, which is brought. How would you do this? So how to make sentences using the past form of the verb bring, which is brought. Here you go. कल वो बाजार से बहुत ताजे सब्जियां लाए थे. He brought fresh vegetables from market yesterday. उसने मेरे लिए कल एक नया ड्रेस लाया. He brought me a new dress yesterday. I brought new dresses for me yesterday. I brought some pencils along with some pens yesterday. I brought a new laptop yesterday.